A tropical cyclone that crossed Cape York tore through the territory and is now re-intensifying off the West Australian coast. That's Narelle. Here's what makes this system so extraordinary. It could reach Category 4 strength and potentially impact Western Australia's coast as far south as Perth by this weekend. We are talking about 2.2 million people in the potential impact zone, the Perth metropolitan area, if this system tracks as forecast. It's Tuesday, the 24th of March 2026, and there is a big weather show to get through across every state and territory today, from the Kimberley coast to Katherine. From flooded Queensland rivers to the settled autumn skies over Melbourne, let's get right into it. We'll start in the west, where the most urgent story is unfolding right now along the Kimberley coastline of Western Australia. According to BOM's warning issued at 9 o'clock this morning AWST, ex-tropical cyclone Narelle is moving offshore of the West Kimberley coast. A severe weather warning, that's an orange level BOM alert, is currently active for damaging winds and heavy rainfall across the northern Kimberley. Wind gusts up to 90 kilometres per hour are possible along the coast between Beagle Bay and Koory Bay throughout this morning. Rainfall accumulations exceeding 140 millimetres in 24 hours are forecast near the track, with isolated totals above 200 millimetres. A tropical cyclone watch yellow level BOM alert is active from Beagle Bay to Koory Bay and from De Grey down to Wallal Downs. If you are anywhere along the Kimberley coastline today, do not travel unless absolutely necessary and keep monitoring BOM's warnings as conditions evolve. Now across to the Northern Territory, where Narelle's overland passage has left communities dealing with very serious and ongoing flooding. Darwin is at 25 degrees with showers continuing. The severe weather has eased, but the territory's flood crisis is far from over. Overnight rainfall totals were extraordinary. Adelaide River town recorded 202 millimetres in a single 24-hour period, ending Monday morning. Gove Airport at Nulumbai recorded gusts of 98 kilometres per hour alongside 131 millimetres of rain since Monday morning. Major flood warnings, orange level BOM alerts are active for the Waterhouse River, the Adelaide River and the Daly River across the top end. Down at Katherine, the situation is critical. The Katherine River is currently at 10.37 metres at the bridge and rising rapidly. Major flooding is expected at Katherine Bridge today, with the river forecast to approach the major flood level of 17.5 metres. This is the same river that hit its highest level since 1998 earlier this wet season, and right now it is rising again. Road closures are extensive across the territory. The Stuart Highway, Australia's main north-south freight route, is currently closed in multiple sections. The Stuart Highway is shut between the Pine Creek turnoff and Amungalan Road, and again between the Katherine Weighbridge and Central Arnhem Road. The Victoria Highway is closed between the Stuart Highway and the Buntine Highway. The Roper Highway is shut between Strangways Creek and Numbulwar Road. Road Report NT is advising essential travel only across the top end. Check roadreport.nt.gov.au before going anywhere near the affected road network. And remember, if it's flooded, forget it. Floodwater is never as shallow or slow as it looks. It is simply not worth your life. Now into Queensland, where the wet season's legacy continues to play out dramatically across the state's vast inland river systems. Up in far north Queensland, Cairns is at 30 degrees with a 22-degree minimum, sunny and humid, classic late wet season conditions. A flood watch is active for the Cape York Peninsula and the North Tropical Coast, so people there need to monitor local conditions closely. Further inland, both the Thompson River and Cooper Creek are under major flood warnings. The Barcoo River has a moderate flood warning currently active. The Lower Balon has a moderate flood warning, while the Bukhara, Colgoa, Birri and Narran rivers are all sitting under minor flood warnings. If you're travelling the Bruce Highway or any inland routes through southwest Queensland, check QLD traffic before you leave. Conditions are changing rapidly. Brisbane is looking far more pleasant today, 27 degrees, a minimum of 21, partly cloudy and no active warnings for the southeast. Gold Coast is at 25 degrees and sunny, a beautiful late summer day with no warnings and no drama whatsoever for the southeast. Over in South Australia, Adelaide is at 22 degrees, heading to 25 fine and partly cloudy, a pleasant early autumn day. A flood warning is active for the inland rivers of South Australia, so people in those remote pastoral areas need to stay across BOM updates. No severe weather warnings for metropolitan Adelaide today. Sydney, New South Wales is at 22 degrees with a 16-degree minimum, no warnings. Temperatures in Sydney are running above the seasonal average for late March, consistent with BOM's national outlook showing above average warmth across most of Australia. No warnings for Sydney, Newcastle or Wollongong. Canberra is at 21 degrees, clear and cool with that early autumn crispness firmly established. Down in Victoria, Melbourne is at 21 degrees with a 13-degree minimum, partly cloudy and a settled early autumn pattern with no warnings. In Tasmania, Hobart is at 18 degrees, fine and clear. A marine wind warning is active for offshore waters, but no land-based warnings today. Now let's talk about the next 24 to 72 hours, because this is where things get very serious very quickly for Western Australia. According to BOM's official forecast track issued this morning, ex-tropical cyclone Narelle is expected to re-intensify back to tropical cyclone status tonight. By Wednesday morning, Narelle is forecast to reach Category 2. By Wednesday night, it is likely to reach Category 3, a severe tropical cyclone. By Thursday, models including COMPS TC suggest Narelle could reach Category 4, with destructive wind gusts exceeding 250 kilometres per hour. Even if the cyclone centre stays offshore Wednesday and Thursday, gale force winds are still expected to extend south over Pilbara coastal communities. Port Hedland, Karratha and Onslow, you are all in the zone where a watch upgrade to warning could come within 24 to 48 hours. From Friday, Narelle is forecast to turn southward toward the West Australian coast with the most likely landfall scenario near Geraldton or north of Perth. Now, I want to be very clear about the uncertainty. Beyond Friday, the ECMWF and GFS models are showing a range of different track scenarios. One scenario has Narelle crossing near Geraldton, bringing heavy rainfall to the wheat belt. Another has it tracking further south toward the Perth metropolitan area. For context, the last comparable event was Tropical Cyclone Seroja in April 2021. It crossed near Kalbarri as a Category 3, causing major damage. BOM confirms 14 systems previously classified as tropical cyclones brought gale force winds or property damage to Perth between 1910 and 2024. If you are anywhere from Broome down to Perth, this weekend is shaping up to be a very significant and potentially dangerous weather event. Start preparing now, secure loose items, know your local emergency plan and keep the BOM weather app and emergency.wa.gov.au bookmarked on your phone. On the national climate picture, BOM's March to May 2026 outlook has temperatures above average across most of Australia, particularly overnight minimums. Sea surface temperatures off the New South Wales coast are warmer than average. That extra warmth adds moisture and energy to approaching weather systems. ENSO is currently neutral, neither La Nina nor El Nino, and models forecast that neutral pattern to continue through mid-autumn 2026. All right, everyone, this is genuinely one of the most complex and high-impact weather setups we have seen across Australia in a long time. The Narelle situation is still developing and track uncertainty is real, which is why we will update you every single day this week. Our thoughts are with the communities in Katherine, across the top end and along the Kimberley coast dealing with flooding and severe weather right now. If this update was useful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. All official warnings, road closures and emergency information are at bom.gov.au, your state emergency services website and the BOM weather app. Stay safe out there, everyone, and remember, if it's flooded, forget it. We'll see you tomorrow with the latest on Narelle. Take care.